examine your life and see where joy exists and arises. Not happiness. Happiness is very conditional. Happiness is a thing that comes. Music is a place that makes me happy, but it's conditional. I also have a duality. It also takes me into other spaces. So what's the place in my life where I have a natural arising of joy? And the definition of joy for me is really, where is love coming through without the condition of what it is itself? Where am I feeling love in my life without it based on being a certain way for me, especially in a place of grief, but generally. And for me, that relationship, when I really looked and examined my life in the core parts, it was pretty simple. It was the ocean. And the ocean, growing up on an island, growing up, going through family stuff, going through a whole bunch of things, going like in my movement through adolescence into young adulthood, and realizing the ocean was the place I always went to. So I brought it back to that place, because when I go to the sea, I don't wait for the waves to be good to surf. I don't need it to be a certain way for me to find, love and peace there. I just go and my whole being goes like, yes. It's a full yes. It's a melt into that. And for me, it was like my practice and discipline in this place is to just go to the sea every day, regardless of the conditions, to go and make that my practice. And to start finding and looking for what is beautiful in those tiny moments, the way the water comes off the surface, the way the wind does something, and start to magnify those moments in your life. Like concentrate on the way the wind is through the trees. Look at that and stop there and stay there just for long enough where it expands. And you start becoming an expander in your own self of what is beautiful in your life. And then your energy starts going to that place. And it can be tiny. There's this beautiful quote where it's like, if you can't get out of bed, it's fine. If a week later you get one leg out of bed, it's fine. If another week goes past and your other leg's out, whatever it takes for you to get to that place. And I'm not just speaking about grief, but in general, if you want to go into your spiritual practice, if you want to go into your artistic practice devotionally, just start doing and start walking and start showing up for that path and look for where joy arises and double down on that place and start to take the energy away from conditional realities and put it into that place of unconditionality. Because that is the place where you really then have a foundational understanding of not being separate from things, but belonging within it and belonging to it. And that, I think, is one of the major things that starts to pull away from the idea of loneliness and pain, is realizing like, oh, I do belong. I do belong here. I do belong as part of this existence. Yeah. I could talk about this for hours.
No, it's great. It's so beautiful. I think we all fundamentally crave feeling connected to life around us, when we fall into the illusion of separation, and we live into the mental prison that we've created for ourselves and the perceptions that we have of the world. It's a very lonely, non-enjoyable experience, but having those practices, and for me, for sure, being in nature is like got to be one of the best ways to be able to just feel connected, because nature is connected to everything else. We are nature, as opposed to the definition. It kind of separates us from nature, actually. And so that's.
I can think about, now that you're even speaking it, it's like kicks my mind in, and it can be a lot more analytical too. Move your body every day. Move your body. Go to nature. Be around the people that you love, regardless of how you are in that room. Just be around the people that love you being you. Those three things. And then commit to something higher, devotionally in spirit. With that, if that's the cornerstone of your life at any point, but especially when you're going through a hard time, move your body, get breath, release it through your body. Absolutely. That's a practice of mine every single day. I wouldn't go to the ocean and just sit there. I'd go to the ocean and run and surf and swim and play and move my body. That became a part of my dance with her. So I'd say there's more foundational analytical things that you can place on it, but whatever is right for you. But I think breath, moving your body every single day, being in nature every day if you can, being around people that love you and that you love. We could bring this back, but in death, right? In the conversation of impermanence, was at this beautiful talk recently. and we did this meditation on death. And it was like, at the end of life, there's really only a handful of things. And it's like, do you forgive me? I forgive you. Thank you. I love you. That's pretty much it, you know? And so what are we doing in our lives to live by that code every day, if that's all that really matters at the end? And we have to have some understanding of this realization of impermanence in our life to give us the block to move towards, to give us the goalpost to move towards. It's just, you also have to include that while you're waking up and moving your body, while you're being in your spiritual, artistic, devotional practices. You have to have something that's larger than all of that to frame, because then you always have a balancing force in whatever you do.